All right, needless to say, I'm very excited to share today's video with you because it's another of the series of videos I've done down at the Detroit Auto Show. And today we're talking about the all-new, brand new from the ground up 2023 GMC Canyon AT4X Edition 1 and the 2023 GMC Canyon Denali. Two amazing trucks. And I've got Will from GMC who's going to go over these trucks from front to back. With that, let's get going. Oh, and before we go too far, just wait until the end of the video because there's a couple things I want to mention, a couple things we didn't hit on during our conversation that I did want to mention in the video so you're not lacking any information on these amazing trucks, so just stay tuned.
Hey everybody, I'm Will Mellon. I'm the marketing manager on the GMC Canyon, and we're really excited to be here today at the Detroit Auto Show to show you the all-new next generation GMC Canyon led by the first ever AT4X. Now this truck is actually the Edition 1 model, which we took reservations on. And what's unique about the Edition 1 is you get the front off-road bumper, the safari bar, the grill light bar, the winch, beadlock capable wheels, the bed rails, and underbody camera. So a lot of really great features on that Edition 1 package. But I want to talk a little bit about AT4X and the Canyon lineup as a whole. So let's start right at the front, right? That's where it all starts. What's really cool, a few design elements with the Canyon is every single one is going to have kind of this, we call it the X-wing grille. So it directs your eyes right toward the grille, which is a very imposing, very aggressive look for the Canyon. Every Canyon's going to have that same kind of draw to the center. Really is a staple of GMC products, GMC trucks. Another cool thing about the Canyon is every Canyon, whether it's a base model all the way up to an AT4X, will have full LED lighting. And there's a ton of sophistication and detail in how these lights were executed. It's a very, very cool feature of the Canyon. Moving down to the bottom, you'll see some other design elements. We have the off-road cutout, which is actually standard on every Canyon. And we did that because every Canyon, whether it's an Elevation or an AT4X, it's going to give you that great approach angle with your front tire. So a really cool design element, but also a lot of function there. Under the hood, we have the 100% high output 2.7 liter turbo engine. So every Canyon, whether it's the base, all the way up to the X, is going to get 310 horsepower, 430 foot-pounds of torque. So a lot of capability right under the hood. So we keep moving back. I really want to focus on the fenders here. And what's really cool about these is when you have a single track width on a vehicle, we have the 100% wide track on the Canyon. All of this is in the sheet metal. So there's no plastic piece here, right? So you get a really pronounced fender, a lot of sheet metal, really cool design element. Every Canyon has this kind of wide look with the sheet metal and the wide fender. Really great look. So as I mentioned, we have the beadlock capable wheels on the Edition 1. So if you get the accessory ring, you can actually use them in a beadlock application. On the regular AT4X, you will get a different 17-inch wheel, but every AT4X will come with this 33-inch MT tire. So a great tire on the truck. And if you look at, actually probably better in the back to look at them, we'll look at the multimatics, but every AT4X will also get rocker protector standard, so you can take a look at those. And then if we move back here, you can see the multimatic DSSV dampers. A lot of travel in these. They're great for off-roading. You know, we have them on some of our other products at GM, but also great for on-road use too, so kind of the best of both worlds. So moving all the way to the back, there's a couple cool things I want to point out. So I'm just going to lower the tailgate here. And we actually had it open, but that's the storage system. But in the bed itself, we actually have 8 standard tie downs now. We had 4 previously, and you can get up to 17 with the optional accessory tie down. So a lot of options there. Spray-in bed liner standard on the AT4X. But I want to focus on the tailgate now because for overlanders, for off-roaders, space is really important, right? So we wanted to make the most out of every part of the truck. So we put this tailgate storage system in here, which is watertight. You can kind of see the drain there. But you can put, you know, tie downs, ropes, first aid kits, you know, whatever you think is important for off-roading. Just a really cool use of the space. And this is standard on the AT4X, the Denali, and the AT4. So moving up to the top of the tailgate, another cool thing I want to point out if you get close to the detail here, it's just some of the design work. This is actually meant to showcase the trip from Telluride, Colorado to Moab. It's just kind of a cool little design element that I wanted to point out to everybody. So now looking at the back of the tailgate, you can see the unique Edition 1 badge. So every Edition 1 will have that badge, as well as these little pieces on the rear bumper. They kind of serve 2 purposes. Number one is the water management and also traction when you're on it. But what's really cool about these, you think about some of the outdoor off-road lifestyle elements of it. This was actually inspiration from hiking boots. So kind of the bottom of hiking boots, you know, being able to have a little bit more traction. That's actually where these pieces come from, the inspiration for that. So another really cool design element that does have some function as well. So a couple more things on the tailgate I want to show everybody. So we actually kind of have a half gate position where you can have the bed, or excuse me, the tailgate about halfway down. It enables you, because it's the same level as the wheel wells, to carry plywood and stuff like that. Another really cool thing too, on every Canyon, you're going to get this ruler. So just another thing you can use to measure fish, or you know, whatever you're doing in the back of your bed. So now we're in the high-tech cockpit of the Canyon. This is one of the places I'm most excited about. So this is the AT4X interior. It's the exclusive Obsidian Rush. We have the ceramic white accents, the red accents, a really beautiful interior. These red seat belts are actually optional on AT4X. You can get a red seat belt if you want one. But really performance driven. Really, it was actually inspired by outdoor winter sports. I think it's a great fit for AT4X when you're off-roading, to have this kind of sport-oriented interior. So I do want to talk about one of the key points on Canyon, which is the technology. So here you can see the standard 11.3-inch center touchscreen. So every Canyon will get that touchscreen standard. Moving over to the driver information center, this is an 11-inch, which is the AT4X and the Denali. The AT4 and the Elevation will get an 8-inch screen, but they're all fully digital. So no matter what Canyon you get, you're going to get a digital screen. Really cool. And we can't see it right now, but there is a head-up display. It's 6.3 inches. That's standard on the AT4X and the Denali. So another really great technology add for the vehicle. A few other things I'll call out too is this is the drive mode switch. So this is how you switch around your transfer case, but also the drive modes, which will show on the center screen. We actually have 5 drive modes in the next gen truck, and AT4X gets the Baja exclusive mode, which is really meant for high-speed off-roading. So a lot of really cool things in the interior. If we had the truck on, I could show you the off-road performance display, which is a really cool feature. It will show you a lot of really key data points while you're off-roading, such as pitch and roll, altitude, transfer case status, wheel slip. Really important things to know when you're out on the trails. It'll show in the center screen. But aside from that, just take a look at the seats, the perforated leather appointed seating. We will offer a sunroof for the first time on Canyon, which we don't have in this truck. You can see in the Denali over there, but for the first time offering a sunroof.
Come on, what an amazing truck that AT4X Edition 1 is, right? Now we're switching gears. We're going to go over to a little more luxury in the Canyon Denali.
So we just spent a lot of time on the first ever AT4X, which is a great addition to the Canyon lineup. Really shows off our off-road power GMC. But I do want to spend a little bit of time on the Denali. And you can see different accents, right? A little bit different design. You get a lot more chrome. But what are some commonalities, and I talked about this on the AT4X, is you still get that X-Wing design, right? You still get the big imposing grille. You still get the LED lighting. You still get the high approach angle. There's no front air dam on any Canyon model, so a great approach angle. You still get the off-road cutout. So while it's a more, I'll say, premium Denali execution, you're still getting some of those fundamental things that are Canyon. And by the way, and we talked about the lift on the AT4X, which is 3 inches. Every other Canyon, including the Denali, will get a 2-inch lift. So they're all going to sit very high, and they will also all get the wide track. And that same 2.7 we just talked about, the high output in the AT4X, is also across the lineup. So no matter what Canyon you get, you're going to get a high and wide truck, you're going to get a high output engine. They're all going to be very capable and carry over a lot of those design elements that we talked about that make it distinctly Canyon. So if we go back this way, you can see the 20-inch wheels that are standard on Denali. We will offer a 22-inch accessory wheel as well. What's really cool too is that you get the 20-inch wheel, but you also get an all-terrain tire. So every Canyon either gets the all-terrain tire or the MTs you find on the AT4X. Moving back, you can see the assist step. This is a standard on Denali. It's a 5-inch step. You can see some of the chrome accents here. Keep moving back. One key difference with the Denali versus the AT4X is you do get the corner step rear bumper. We took it off the X. It hurts the departure angle a little bit, but you will get that on every other Canyon. You can see kind of the hiking boot inspired bumper like we talked about, the same trip to Moab up top. This also has a tailgate storage in it. So moving over to the Denali interior, you see a lot of similarities with the AT4X in terms of layout. So you still have your drive mode switch, you still have the same screens. A couple other things I'll call out, you have the push button start that's standard on every Canyon. We have the Bose audio that's standard on AT4X and Denali. And then we actually have the sunroof in this truck as well, so you can take a look at that up there. That is optional across the lineup. But this Denali interior, I do want to spend a minute on it here. It is absolutely beautiful. This is the jet black with teak accents interior. It's perforated leather appointed seating across the board. You can see the cross stitch is just really, really sophisticated, very well done on this truck. This interior is truly Denali. It's very premium and the exact sophistication execution you would expect from GMC. And if you look over there, this is real wood trim in the Canyon. And I don't know if you can see it, but if you look in the right piece of the trim you're on right now, you'll see the Mount Denali coordinates etched, laser etched into the wood. Just one more little design element that we were really proud of on this truck. And you can see the cross stitching actually carries over to the door panels as well. So overall, you know, the Denali, it does share some similarities across the Canyon lineup in terms of the screens and some of the technology, but it is truly a unique interior on Denali, very premium, and the exact Denali craftsmanship you'd expect from GMC.
These trucks are so amazing. It makes it hard for me to decide which one of them I would want if I had the choice to drive one of these home. But listen, one of the things I want to talk about, of course, Will did an amazing job at going over just about every detail that I could ever imagine with these new trucks. And of course, I mean, there's just so much to go over because they're just all new from the ground up. But there's a couple things I did want to bring to light before the video ends. And that, of course, is one of the questions many of you had been asking me and over again when it came to these new trucks is, Jeff, is the rear sliding window power or not? I know it's not a major detail for some of you, but for some of you I know it is. It is a manual sliding rear window, so it is not a power sliding rear window yet, at least. So they're stuck with the manual sliding rear window, but hey, at least, of course, you have the sunroof there still, right? A couple other things I want to talk to you really quickly about, of course, is they've relocated the axle of the truck as more forward. Basically, the reasoning for that, of course, is less overhang, which is, you know, a little bit better for off-roading, not to mention, you know, visibility out there out front as well. And then, of course, when we did talk about the suspension in the back, more obviously in regards to the AT4X Edition 1, the AT4X, where they use those Multimatic DSSV suspension, the shocks have been relocated and they're basically hidden. They're more inset, they're hidden, so less chance of them getting damaged, affected, hung up, you know, whatever it may be when you are off-roading. And then lastly, I want to talk just quickly, very quickly, about the tailgate, the rear tailgate. I'm pretty sure I saw in one of the messages I read, or texts I read, not messages or texts, but stats I've read, is or videos I watched, I think, from Chevrolet, the rear tailgate. Remember how he was showing us, Will was showing us where the tailgate would kind of lock in place at a certain angle so you can put things on there. My understanding is it'll hold up to 500 pounds of weight there, so pretty substantial. So if you do have something of decent weight that you are trying to, you know, get in the back of the truck and also have the tailgate partially up, it's going to be able to handle that. So again, super impressed by these trucks. I cannot wait to try these out so I can tell you firsthand what I think about how they perform, how they handle, and of course, how those 2.7 liter 4-cylinder turbos, which I honestly think are a very impressive engine, both from, you know, fuel efficiency, power, all that kind of stuff. I just can't wait to share all this with you. But until that point, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for some more Detroit Auto Show videos on GMC and Chevy product. Cheers.